What's happening, people? We're live and direct from the Double Arms on Fulham Road, and I'm joined by Joe Gunning. Joe, it's a pleasure, mate.
It's an absolute pleasure. It's a shame I couldn't join you in better circumstances.
Listen, my headline news, I think we have just said this, Joe, that Robert Jones is an unmitigated absolute tosser. Would you agree?
Mate, I think it's always embarrassing when people delegate a win to the fact that the referee was awful. But today was an absolute travesty. And I don't say this lightly, yeah. An absolute travesty. Like the decisions that were given against us, an absolute joke. And I turned in the 20th minute. I turned to my mate and I went to him, the ref's actually been quite good today. And he said to me, don't say that. He said, don't say that. And about 5 minutes later, we saw what happened. An absolute joke.
I think quite a lot teams, and I think Fulham with Michael Silver, if we're being honest, might be victims of this, Joe, that we do blame the referee a bit too much. Today, there is no doubt in my mind that with Josh King's goal standing, with decisions for outplay, number one, Chelsea's corner for their goal was offside, leading up to that, and as well you have Chelsea's penalty, João Pedro with a clear push, in the lead up to that corner.
And can I just say, the goal, right? And I've watched it back. I've made when it first happened, and we saw Chalobah rolling around on the floor, and I thought to myself, "Oh, this happened with Pedro Neto last year. Get up, mate." And I thought, you know what? I'm not going to judge too harshly. Obviously, I'm fuming. I'm going to wait until I see what's happened. And they put it up on screen, and oh my gosh, it's so clear. Muniz has possession of the ball. And he turns. Where else can he put his foot?
Unbelievable.
Seriously, where can he put his foot? I understand if he doesn't have possession of the ball and he steps onto Chalobah, tackles him, steps on his foot. I understand that's a foul. But at the end of the day, he has possession. He gets to the ball first. Where else can he turn? It's a ridiculous decision. And not only is it not a foul, but the fact that they've deemed it clear and obvious.
That's what I was going to say.
It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous, and that's a travesty. And I think the footballing world has seen what's happened today, and it's up to Premier League fans to remember what's happened today and remember how wronged we've been, because I don't think people will. I mean, this is just, this is the hierarchy, and it's a shame, but
I think that it is games like today where you really do question what is the point of spending your hard-earned money on going to games like this, where football fans are treated completely atrociously today. Today, I was nearly kicked out by the Metropolitan Police for calling the Chelsea fans cunts, right? Which is a completely true statement, right? I don't tell a lie, do I? Exactly. And then you partner that with VAR, which is just ruining the fan experience for fans in the ground. I think that it's clear to see, Joe, that football is turning away from being a sport that is led by the fans right into a TV product.
But, Charlie, at least we're the richest and most educated
thank you, Mr. Shahid.
At least we're the richest and most educated fan base. Because do you know what? Today, the referee, awful. But attacking, going forward, we look useless. I go into a game, and when the lineup got released today, look, I love Fulham, I love our players. But where are the goals coming from? Where are our attacks coming from? We're predictable. Every attack is predictable. And obviously we're predictable because we've got the same attack that we had last year. When you've not signed any players, we're going to be predictable. Now look, last two games against Brighton and United, there have been moments of brilliance. We've had players come on. We know that we can do that. We know we've got that fight. And look, no one's knocking the players we've got. As Fulham fans, we love our team. But we need something. We need something to elevate the rest of the team, to progress our attack.
So X factor.
And it's so apparent that it's missing. And today, once again, look, after that decision went against us, my head went down. And I said to myself, I don't mind if the players' head went down, because mine did as well. But at the end of the day, I'm not a Premier League footballer. We need players who go, you know what? Fuck that decision. I'm going to step up, and I'm going to be the man to take us forward.
Yeah.
And we didn't have that at all today.
I think, in the first half, Joe, sort of trying to now analyse the game a little bit. I think in the first half, you're maybe saying that we're a bit different on this. But I thought Fulham was superb. We were all over Chelsea. And my main takeaway from that first half was we had to take those chances. We had to utilise that dominance over Chelsea. Because Chelsea in the first half for me, Joe, couldn't get a look in. I think that Josh King was once again absolutely superb. He was running things. I've had multiple people message me that aren't Fulham fans. Minor technical difficulties stopping me from waxing lyrical about Josh King, but like I said, Joe, Josh was superb in that first half. He was running the show. I think that Muniz did well off the scraps that he was given in that first half. Is there anything that you'd like to say?
Look, Muniz struggles in this system, and you can't blame him, right? I was going to say Muniz's biggest fan. I'm one of Muniz's biggest fans. I think Muniz is an absolutely fantastic footballer, but this isn't where he flourishes. Sticking a striker up top with a 5-back formation, he's not got much support. He's not got many balls in him. He's kind of having to deal with a lot of hoofs from Leno trying to get them down, and it makes it more difficult. But look, the 5 at the back system worked so well against Chelsea last year, but I think why it worked so well is because we had attacking avenues. And today, Robinson's not starting. Once again, I bring it back to the point, where are our attacks coming from? We start with this 5 at the back. I'm going to be honest, I don't think Iwobi's been fantastic.
Yeah, below here, Joe, watch out, they're going to kick me out in a minute.
I don't think Iwobi's been fantastic this season so far. I don't think the attacks are coming from him. I think he's lacking a bit of confidence. I think on the right-hand side, we're really struggling. And that's where I think, hopefully we'll get Chukwueze in the next couple of weeks. I think he'll really help. But you mentioned Josh King's performance. I mean, oh my gosh.
It's every game he gets better and better though, doesn't it?
Seriously, like you, I've come to people messaging me saying, oh, you were right about this Josh King, because don't get me wrong, I've been waxing absolutely lyrical about this bloke for weeks now, and people have been going, oh mate, like climb out, and I'm going, you just wait and see.
Exactly.
And those same people have messaged me today going, you were right. And the worst part about today, I was going to say worst part, obviously worst part is how absolutely bullshit we were. The fact that Josh King got that first Premier League goal taken away from him, which, by the way,
lovely goal,
was beautifully taken. He picked it up just past the halfway line. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke, mate.
Moving off Josh King, which is quite hard to do for myself and Joe as well. You've got, I think Ryan was quite positive in that first half, but I think that you see once again that Ryan probably still isn't fit enough to do 90 minutes. He was quite leggy towards the back end of the second half. That's why Mr. Robinson came on in the late stages of the second half. I think that Timothy Castagne was superb in that first half. I think he did a great job in the sort of nullifying Pedro Neto on that right-hand side. Aside from that, I think Sander Berger and Sassaluka probably put in their best combined display that I've seen in quite a few weeks. Probably since Liverpool at home, Joe. I'm sure you'll agree. Aside from that, I completely agree, Joe. Fulham massively lack that creative ingenuity, that bit of X factor from out wide that Marco Silva needed to be given before today. But
exactly.
It's not been.
That's the problem. That if you go into a new season with the exact same problems that you had last season, you're going to suffer the exact same, and we're seeing it. The fact that we're going into a new season with a backup goalkeeper as our only signing. Like, we've made jokes the last few years about how late we leave business, but this is a travesty. Like, the fact we've got 2 points from our first 3 games is an absolute testament to our manager and the squad we have. Because if we don't get players in the doors I've been saying this, if we don't get players in the doors for next month, in the next 2 weeks, now it's in the next 3 days, we're fucked.
Completely. I think what I'll leave you with, guys, is Leeds at home, like, sort of become a massive fixture for Fulham. I think that Fulham have to go and win that game. Brentford at home as well, not just for the fact that, of course, it is the Hounslow boys, it's because Fulham do need their first win of the season. I think Fulham deserve plenty more from today, but Mr. Jones did his best to stop that, and which he did. But Fulham have to win at Leeds at home. It's been such a break, and hopefully during this break Fulham will have some players to sort of bed into that new Marco Silva system, and I think he certainly needs it. Today just underlines that. Like, is there anything else you want to close out with, Joe?
Mate, all I can say is we're lucky we have an international break, because if we get to Leeds and we've got the exact same squad, no more wingers, we've seen
I think
Andreas.
Silva could. I'm being serious. I'm not trying to Joe, but Silva could walk. I think that you saw today that he came straight over.
The worst part about Silva walking is that none of us would blame him.
No,
and that shows where we are as a club. That we don't blame our manager for walking out on the board. A joke. Sort it out.
He deserves better. I'll see you on deadline day, fellas. We're live and direct from the Dole Line, and I'll leave you with this. Fuck Robert Jones and fuck Tosin. Adebayo. Come on, Fulham.